but then we see Rahu Ketu everywhere. Like now, if you go outside and you will find Rahu Ketu like literally everywhere. This is Bank of England, their door. You will see like two Ida Pingla and Susum Nanadi. You see this? So it is on Bank of England's doorways. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And you go to Egypt, you will find the snake eating its own tail, even in Egypt. Yeah. In people's door, you will find this. There is a story called as I think there was a lion which was made out of Shiva, and the lion ate itself. So Shiva gave him a like wound that whoever puts you in front of their door, there will be prosperity. So if you see a lot of people in England as well, they have this door, on their doors. Like there's a lion and there is a Ouroboros, like a Rahu Ketu, like it's eating itself.
Oh goodness, we had one of these. I don't know whether we still have it.
See, I told you, you didn't know about it. So.
I didn't know this.
And it was also used in alchemy as well. You see in white magic, black magic, even that was used because the concept is the same in both sides. Like you have to either activate it to get yourself enlightened, or you have to, if for enemies, like they just make it dormant so that they are not enlightened. So you see when Vedic knowledge is taken away, it becomes dormant and this is sleeping. It's not activated. When Vedic knowledge is imparted and when you get like a little bit of curiosity to understand it more, it slowly gets activated. But then you have to have a proper guru to activate it. That's another thing. And this is, and you see like East India Company in 1600s when it was formed. Like after that, they have this diagram on their offices in London. And you see this Ida Pingla, and this is like of Mercury. So Mercury and Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn, they're all like, all these planets are connected. But you see like there is things over here. And this is from Greek mythology, where the Saturn is in his chariot. So Saturn works on human beings with two snakes, which is Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are always denoted as snakes. One is obsession and one is the detachment. And it is like if all Rahu Ketu of every individual is bundled together, it becomes collective consciousness.
Wow.
So, and that is how Saturn does the work. So you see, Saturn is the karma karaka. So for example, Saturn came into particular zodiac just at the end of 2019, somewhere. And then the thing was like, it had to do something related to, and the Rahu Ketu's placement were such that they had to do something to do with medical related, like flu or influenza, that kind of. And that is what has happened. So the karma was like the collective consciousness karma, Saturn, was to perform through the collective consciousness of Rahu and Ketu.
So, wow. It's just so fascinating, the link between Saturn and Rahu and Ketu. This is so fascinating, and also with the Greek mythology, I know that the signs of the actual zodiac signs, the 12 signs, I think if you can correct me if I'm wrong, they actually originate from ancient Greece, is that right? That then it was brought to India?
My guru used to say that the entire world used to be Vedic at one point of time, and then slowly everywhere people started forgetting for various reasons. We won't go to the reasons, but then but because this when a person dies, everything material gets detached. But anything that you remember spiritually, that goes to the next birth. So we subconsciously, even if you have seen this diagram for the first time, you subconsciously know that this is there because in some of your previous life, you have got this knowledge. It's just a spark that you need in this lifetime to remember everything.
Yeah, that's why you have these aha moments
Yes.
and stuff. Yeah, and sorry, it's of course I did think that perhaps the zodiac signs were from India, but then I got a bit confused when people saying, "Oh no, they used the nakshatra system," and it was actually from Greece. I'm like, okay, I don't know which one is true, but then yeah, it definitely makes sense. I mean, it's fascinating how of course India, we know, or Bharat, where you had a lot of great thinkers, of course it's all from the Vedic period or from the knowledge of the Vedas, but then it's also fascinating how even the ancient Greeks, how they had similar kind of concepts.
Yes.
Who knows whether
Very
they
much
may have
same.
just got it unconsciously from a previous lifetime, or
No,
whether it
the
traveled
thing
from
is, for
Greece. I don't
example,
know.
Vedas is
It's just
something that was heard from the sky.
yeah.
So it's not only we have heard it from India, right?
Yeah.
It have been heard from somewhere else as well. So everyone would have like we don't know about. There's a lot that we don't know, but then there is so much similarity.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it may well be that it's not just India that has these concepts. And oh goodness, I know some people are probably going to kill me if they hear me saying this. I'm not wanting this to become political. Please
No, I mean, my guru used to say that the entire world used to be Vedic, but systematically different parts forgot Vedas. But then that's the thing about Vedas. There's a concept that everything has to go through this rebirth. So even knowledge, once it imparts everything, even it dies, and then a new seed forms of knowledge. You see, this 30 years that we are going through, like this decade onwards, that is the seed that will be sown on Earth astrologically, that will give rise to a new understanding of Vedas. There's a lot that we didn't know about, like from Vedas that our ancients knew, but we forgot. But then this seed of this 30 years will enhance humanity to understand, re-understand Vedas again. So even knowledge had to do this reincarnation.
Yeah, and it's just so fascinating how people like of course the people from various parts of the world, whether it be India, ancient Greece, or Mesopotamia, Babylon, Egypt, ancient Egypt, or the Native Americans, how they all had such even the ancient Chinese, how they had very similar. I don't know about the Native Americans, but I know definitely like with the ancient Chinese and the ancient Egyptians, the Mesopotamians, and the Mayans. They all had this interest in the sky. Like in the stars. I know we talked about it.
Fascinated about, like obsessed
about it. And so I guess that kind of shows that how what we call Vedic knowledge came in different forms. Like it's kind and I guess it's all linked with what is referred to as the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious, as termed by Carl Jung, and and then there's the Akashic records as well, and so there's just and Akasha means ether, that's the translation of it from Sanskrit to English. So that perhaps maybe these people either intuitively, with or without realizing it, they tapped into this kind of ideas. And you have even about dreams. I'm remembering my studies of psychology, how how scientists or authors, scientists came up with ideas of inventions, or authors came up with ideas of stories, of really through their dreams.
Your subtle body is activated, you see. And these grahas are also happening in subtle layer. So that is why dreams also give you a lot of premonition about something that is happening or going to happen. If you are consciously dreaming and have a dream journal, you will understand that is going to happen, because it is subtly telling you. So it's all about the three bodies that we discussed previously. So in your subtle body, the dreams, in your dream state, the subtle body is activated. And all these grahas, the 27 nakshatras and the 12 zodiac, all these are in subtle layer. You see this diagram that this gentleman drew from India? So this is happening in subtle layer, where these zodiacs and everything is formed. and we are just the physical layer where Maya is active. So we don't remember any of this.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's really intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.